because I do have to send it out to everyone. So again, we are being invited to Cannes Festival, July 10th. I don't know the times yet, but you'll get the link for it. And it's a Cannes virtual panel. You'll get to pitch your film and a chance to win $40K. Between now and then, we'll work on pitch fests. Pitch practices. Darrell talked about AFM. And AFM basically is if you want to attend. I think you may have to have a film project. I might let Darrell talk a little bit about that today. If you have a film project that you are either producing or you want to sell or understand the market, he is offering to take some of the team members to AFM this year, which is in November, which is huge. American film market is where you want to be if you are doing anything film. You want to be shaking hands there. I think you do have to pay some of your cost. We'll see who's interested, and we'll talk about to our scholarship team. Our scholarship team are the folks putting up the Cannes event. So when you actually attend the Cannes Festival event, they will send out their link. It's a separate cost. I think it's $50 to attend. But you get a chance to, you'll have one-on-one with all these amazing people. You'll have their emails because they'll put their emails. You'll have a full day event with them. I think it's 2-day event, after parties or whatever. But you get to meet them one-to-one and have their contacts, which is huge for the industry. Sorry, I can't hear you. Are you guys saying something? Everyone can unmute and talk to me because I can't hear you. Darrell, you're unmuted. So I'm asking you to unmute. I've asked everybody, yeah, unmute so you guys can talk to me because I can't hear you.
I said, make sure you party. It's no point.
Yeah, no, there's like a virtual after party. I attended at Sundance. There were musicians, there were artists. Everybody had their own wine, but you were mingling with folks doing business in Hollywood. And that's apparently very important for you, just to know them and for them to know who you are. And I think those people are so into knowing you personally before they work with you, rather than, oh, you've got a great project and now we've got to run around to, oh yeah, they kind of care about your personality and who you are first before anything else. At least that's what I've learned from having a relationship with them, and them, they're the ones offering FlixRep scholarships. Depending on the project, they'll offer certain scholarships. So we haven't utilized any of their scholarships yet, but they just told me about the Cannes Festival yesterday. I was waiting to hear about it. It is July 10th. It'll be a virtual event. You'll be able to pitch to win 40 grand. All right, meet and greet today. We were supposed to have, I think we had 20 folks emailed. We're down to only 4 today. I'm glad you joined us. Darrell's the only coach that did. All our coaches get this email, but I don't know that they think it's necessary for them to come. So Darrell, thank you for joining us.
Anytime.
I had a coach.
Anytime.
I have a coach that has been trying to get on here with us. He's a project manager coach, and he's not here. He's been like, where's the link? And I sent him the link today. I'm texting him now. We are online. Maybe he didn't get it. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go around the room and talk about projects that you have. That's basically the meeting. And for the next few weeks, I will be focusing on these Cannes Festival, because somebody winning 40 grand from our group is great. It doesn't come to me. I have nothing to do with it. You win it directly through their group. You make a relationship with their group, and they're very well connected in the industry. Darrell's here representing pre-sales for our team, which is very important for you to have any project, because that's where your big money's at. He was our speaker last week. So he's here again, showing up for you guys. So we'll start with, I have a project. I have a project called Tribal Echoes. I've raised $700,000. And in the next couple of weeks here, I will actually have cash to be moving forward with my project. I'm very excited. I'm doing my pre-sales deal and coming back and sharing with the group of how I've done it. It's a $2 million film. Both of you guys, since you're on the line, or anyone who is going to watch this video, you are invited to auditioning or participating in the film in some type of fashion in terms of production. So if you're someone who does the background, it will be shot in Atlanta. I'm actually in Atlanta now. So, and I plan to shoot this film in about, what's this month? About May, June. That's my goal, to shoot the film. It's only a 21-day shoot. I have my producers ready. We have the cast, we have our eye on, we have a script ready. But before we before we make our deals with celebrities, I will have a meeting like this where I bring my script to the team. You guys get to take my script home, come back, and you actually get paid to review my script. That's part of a deal FlixReps is doing, so that all of us that are producers get to see what other people's script look like and the problem. Well, I read it, and as a producer, I wouldn't write this character like this. Here's what I didn't think was great about your script, especially when your script is actually in finance, which is what my script is going to be in the next couple of weeks. So that's what I have going. It's called Tribal Echoes. It's on the FlixReps page. It's a film that we're doing. It is a $2 million budget. I'm hoping to take that $2 million to Darrell's team, and hopefully they can make it 5, 6, 7 million. I will come back and teach the team how I did that. I'd like to stay around too, Darrell, and the reason why is because if I do anything bigger, I run into studio, I run into issues where my film may not be done now. I may lose some control. So we always try to keep it in a small budget, but a small budget to Darrell's team is like 5 million, and they can get you
Right.
like a Nicolas Cage, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's what I'm talking about, and that film will sell. So we just sold a film. Another final announcement before I let you guys talk. Everyone will take turns to talk. We sold a film, a worldwide distribution to Darrell's contact this week, called Issues of the Heart. And that film is getting a worldwide distribution. We are going to see the numbers of what it looks like, but they made it for less than, I want to say 50 grand. They submitted it to us for only 40 bucks. They are a FlixReps member. We took it to market. We got a worldwide distribution, which could potentially mean up to 100,000 a year for the first 2 years, or maybe even more, because worldwide means every market, everywhere. So that's the power of having what we have here as your team. And we're looking at Orangutan and some other films. So just to keep that in mind, Frankie, I know that you wanted to get your film on a worldwide distribution, one of the reasons why you're here. So that's my spill for FlixReps News. We will do this once a month. It's really to meet people and talk about their projects, what they need, where they're at, and how we can help them. So who's next? Who wants to talk next? Adam or Frankie? Who wants to start?
Doesn't matter. You could go if you want.
Okay. Adam?
Okie doke. Well, I'm currently working on, I'm actually shooting next month. Adult Skate is what it's called. It's my senior practicum project, but it's meant to be the actually pilot and second episode of what would be a TV series. So I'm basically shooting these 2 episodes as a proof of concept right now, because I have a lot of like free labor and gear at my disposal, being still in school, of course. But as soon as I graduate, I'm hoping to start pitching it to studios or whoever it is buys TV shows to actually start making it like a whole first season, and be able to actually pay, you know, the actors and crew and everything like that. But I'm from Dayton, Ohio, so I'm hoping to keep it an Ohio-based project, because there's a lot of filmmakers in this community that I know have been looking for projects. So I'm kind of wanting it to be something that's a relatively smaller budget, but still enough to get the job done. And it's mockumentary style, and it's all meant to be like, you know, nothing too crazy in terms of you know, budgetary concerns. Really, it would be just kind of a lot of like locations and people, budget wise. So that's where I'm at right now with the project. Yeah.
Oh, I think I connected you to Danny. Danny has access to tons of people. I know he's in like Kentucky, Nashville, but he's very connected to tons of people that will act. He had over 150 people that acted in his film for free. Don't tell anybody that, guys. But Danny's so cool. He also got the link today, but Danny is super busy. I'm not sure why he's not very good with a lot of like the emails and stuff. And he's very like, I got my daughter to help me do this. But he's super cool. And he's doing a big film. I'm actually going to be signed as a producer. So I'm actually going to be doing his investment. His budget of his film is $500,000. So I'm working heavily on close to Danny, because I believe in his vision. And he already made his first film with like 200 plus people for free. And he's got celebrities in it, like have done He's that 89-year-old lady who's super popular. And she just did Dumb and Dumber, and she's done a bunch of stuff. So he's got cool access to stuff. But he's connected to you because he'd like to work with you since you guys are closely in that arena, and he may be able to supply you when the time comes with the extra cast that you need if you don't want to spend that money. If there's anything else you feel like we have in the group to help you with what you're shooting now, in terms of the series and that, we can do agreements, because that's why everyone got an NDA when we started. The NDA means to protect you and me, so your project doesn't go outside of this group, so that I could take your script and talk to my people to read it to help to see what they can do, right? So I have a signed NDA with Durrell. I have a signed NDA with everyone in the group, so that protects us when I get your script. And then if I decide I want to work on it, I'll offer myself to be a producer and sign an actual producer's agreement. But I don't have to be a producer. I'm just part of your team member under FlixReps. And FlixReps apparently can provide you casting, sales, help you distribute it, whatever we have access to. By summer, before summer, we're actually going to have funding for projects, but I'm not offering that to everyone. I just need to see who's hungry. I throw out these emails and 2 people show up. That's who's hungry, right? So that's where I'm going for. I may be covering a bunch of people's costs to AFM just because we have access to scholarships, but it's for who shows up. I'm not doing it for everyone. So, but they are going to get the email and the recording, and then they'll understand why I made certain selections that I did, because I also have to protect my interests and not waste my time. So Frankie, you're up next. Tell us about what you have going and how maybe perhaps our team can help.
Okay, see, I recently finished shooting the feature film Orangutan that you mentioned, and it played at FlixReps and at the festival, and now it's got distribution with them too on Chi TV, and it's being submitted to Netflix and Amazon Prime, Vudu, and Tubi, as Edna was saying. So hoping it could get on, another at least another one would be good, but whatever happens, be good. Currently working on a feature script. It's a bit more big budget. It's a bit more like mid to big budget. It's not something that I would really take on my own. It's more like meant as like a spec script to try and sell or use as a sample piece. My main thing is mainly screenwriting. I mean, I just write feature scripts. I don't have a specific one I'm trying to get off the ground now to shoot, but they're varying degrees. Like they're mostly within comedy and drama. Some are more bigger budget. Some are like, well, they're usually like mid-budget, or there's a couple that are a bit more low budget. So some are have a bit higher feasibility level, I guess, than others. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on today and see, just kind of feel it out. And I think that's kind of it in a nutshell for me.
So
Okay.
you're interested in, I'm so sorry. You're interested in looking at scripts. Are you interested in helping others with your scripts, or is that where your strength is pretty much?
Yeah, so I'm mainly interested in trying to get my scripts off the ground, like get them attached to a team, and then doing whatever I can to help. So,
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm currently signed up for, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Inktip. So I'm signed up for their preferred newsletter. So sometimes they get script reads through that. I submit, they're like producers looking for scripts. So I'm going through that right now.
Can I interject?
I don't know, hopefully, yeah, sorry, did you say something?
Yeah. All right. So, so the scripts, you're saying some of them are higher budget and things like that. How are you determining that from a writer's standpoint?
So I'm determined. So I've worked in the industry too here. I'm from Toronto.
Okay.
I've worked in the industry for a bit over the past 10 years, varying different productions, like film, TV, commercials. So I have a pretty good sense of, I'm not like a master at budgeting, but I have a bit of a good sense, and just from my experience of watching movies over, the past X amount of years. Just I know like some scripts are a bit more meant like a bit more indie, and then some are a bit more like indie around like 1 million, maybe a little bit less, and then some are a bit more like studio comedy style. This will be more like kind of 20 million, like very, very rough estimates here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, typically, like most of the people that I've worked with, when it comes to like you as the writer and the creative part of that, we try to get you out of budgets. Like, write your vision, right? The line producer or we will figure out the budget part of it. We don't want you to limit yourself based on, oh, I think this would be too much. I think this would cost this. We want you to get that vision on the page because, as you probably know, if it's not a great cohesive story, it's not going to do anyone any good anyway. So we don't want, like we usually share, don't limit yourself. Get your vision out there. I remember I wrote a comedy script, and the producer read it, started reading it, and he was like, "You blew up a barge within the first 10 pages." He's like, "You know how much that cost me?" He's like, "But I like it." So he's like, it's like they'll figure out, who they need to take it to add that extra cost for, avatars or per se. But I was just wondering, like, are you having like a line producer type mindset? And I would just share, as a writer myself, just get out of that. Just write, get it, where the characters work, where everything fits your vision, and then let the producers or the people who come along worry about the shooting draft. You know what I mean?
And turning
The cost.
and the numbers, yeah, because then
Yeah.
if you focus on and that's the reason why your script is so key, right? If we see your script, those first 10 pages could make such a huge difference to what your film is going to be, whether it's going to be and then your tagline. And we're going to be working on that next. I'm really going to start that in April because I want to come and pitch you guys Tribal Echoes, right? I'm also a filmmaker, so I want to pitch you my film, and then I want you to give me feedback on my pitch. If you would produce it, if you would say, yeah, if I had money, I'll give it to you. If you're executive producer or studio like Darrell is, so I would say when Darrell comes into these meetings, he's our studio, right? We're talking to a studio person who's worked with NBC. So for Adam, you need someone like him because he could take your script to NBC for a TV series very easily. But is the
Right.
first 10 pages powerful? Is the first, or is what you're about to create in school, even though it's so small and it's free, is it good for him to look at it now before you create it? Because that could be the pilot he takes to the network. That's what Flix Reps is about. Don't make it if you can't get the help quickly to get that done, even though it's a next week shoot. Let's schedule something where you can sit down with Darrell and have him look at it. I know that these sessions, we do them because you guys already have a membership, but we can work out a scholarship with Darrell to pay for his time, where it doesn't have to cost you extra money. That's what we're here for. But we have to know that it interests you. For someone like him, who's taking a film that's 2 million to 50 million, they brought a project to me. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I have access to some funding sources. They brought a project to me. And the tagline is, the first African-American Black female pilot. And guess who's in it? Halle Berry. That's all I had to hear. And when I took it to my investor, that's all he had to hear. He said, yes, it's a $16 million film. Now, I'm not selling you guys crap when I say you guys get to be a part of that when that's shooting. But those things take forever because of this and that. And they're just much longer when they're big projects.
Yes.
But Flix Reps, based on my contracts with Darrell's team and my investor, my team has to get a chance to want to be, what do you want to be? I want to be whatever you're skilled at. Like you have to have a resume that shows that you have that skill to get that job. So I can't just put you in a director's title because you don't have the skill yet. However, to get training, to build your resume, you can be part of a $16 million film. That's what we're doing here, is providing the access to funding, but also making you think bigger. Because Darrell's team has access to Nicolas Cage. They have access to, people like that, where the tagline is simple. But if you pitch me in 3 minutes, I know whether I want to do this film or not. Like I want you to think of yourself in an elevator with the richest man on earth. And you've got 3 minutes, 1 minute to tell him your film. You don't want to drag. So yeah, it started when it went here, and then the guys, they did this. You want like one-liner. And I will start working on that with individuals. I'm going to be scheduling one-to-ones in April, and the one-to-ones are for pitches, strictly pitches. I got my films funded from pitching. I got, I'm raising film budget, like massive amount of money from pitching, that I have these slate of films. Someone took a look at it and someone said yes, because I've learned it. So I would like to teach it, but I don't want to overdo that. I don't want to all about what I can. I think it's a group of the skills we can bring in, like Darrell's and whoever else is going to be part of the team you're going to meet at Cannes Festival, a whole nother group, amazing folks. They gave someone 40 grand at Sundance. I hadn't met you guys yet. So now you get a chance to get that 40 grand for your film. And that's 40 grand towards your new script or new project that they believe in, that your pitch caught their attention. And they're going to ask you if it's good. And I'm going to, since I was at Sundance, I can tell you what they're going to ask. I can tell you whether you're going in the right direction, what to fix and to change to improve it, to be ready to get your money. Because if not, what happens in the industry is you have a lot of people that tell you, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. They'll never give you the money and you'll sit waiting forever. So you want an active team that's actually actively funding, financing, talking about it and actually doing it. Like we just got distribution for someone who entered the festival just like you. And they got worldwide distribution. All they spent was $40 when they actually didn't get free because they weren't students. So they paid for their entrance at the festival. Then they paid $79 to be a member. Now they just got a worldwide distribution. So it's not far-fetched. Before you do any project, finish any script, I want us to see how we can work with you on those films where you're at now. Doesn't matter how small, because it could eventually turn into something bigger, especially for you, Adam. You know the goal. It's going to TV. Let's look at it now. Let's do an NDA. We'll do an NDA between you and Darrell, and we'll see how much a script is. If your script is 10 pages, 8 pages, then we can look at what's going to take Darrell, the time it's going to take him. We'll offer him something for his time. He looks at it. He tells you, well, you got to fix this. He gives you an view of what he would take to TV. So in other words, you're going to shoot this, but I would change this, this, and this because I can take that pilot to TV. What you have now, I can't take to TV. Go ahead, Darrell.
And can I say this? And there's a saying, guys, that you hear a lot. It says like 99% of success is showing up. And a lot of people don't understand that it's so true. The more you show up, the more you have an opportunity for luck to happen. And when we talk in dealing with the studio or being out in Los Angeles, these big numbers, I'll tell you just briefly, Barry M. Osborne. I met Barry because I went to a producer's breakfast and he produced Lord of the Rings. He walked into New Line and asked for $100 million and walked out with a $300 million 3-picture deal, right? And so he communicated like we talked personally, and because of the things that were going on in the industry, he said, anytime you need help, you give me a call. So a lot of the stuff in the relationships are from showing up and then someone saying, hey, I'm going to help you. And the reason a lot of us come back is because we're getting an opportunity to pay it forward. And so you hear numbers like literally, this was back in 2000. So someone coming to me and I'm just dealing with just being in the industry and like got $300 million to produce Lord of the Rings and like, hey, I'm gonna help you with what you're doing. Like, who would believe that? You know what I mean? Just from a simple breakfast that I showed up that was free. You know what I mean? But I took the time to find the information. I would go to the bookstore and read the Hollywood Reporter because I couldn't even afford to buy it at the time. And inside the Hollywood Reporter, they said, hey, here's an opportunity. And not a lot of folks showed up. Well, I showed up. So what you guys are doing are great. And you're going to bypass the people who maybe sitting at home and say, hey, it probably wasn't going to be all that great. You are going to be in charge of these relationships and once you meet them and fulfilling those and following up. Because it's hard. Once you get us, it's hard to keep us. Good people get gone. That's what I'm saying to tell you. My mentor, people were trying to get him on a plane to the UK and all over the place. And even Barry, when he did Lord of the Rings, he was filming on 3 continents at once, you know. So that's what I wanted to share. That I'm glad that you're here. At least it shows us, like Edna was saying, you are hungry and you want to fulfill what you're doing with your project. So I'm glad to be here and help out in any way I can.
Awesome. So if anyone has questions, this is a good time. We have a few minutes. And then thank you for joining the meet and greet. It's going to be brief, like I said, 30 minutes so that we get going. I have Frankie on scripts. You're interested in script and maybe eventually doing something more with your script. We have someone looking at your film. Now I'm going to tell you what Chuck said, and Chuck is Darrell's friend. He didn't really like Orangutan. But he didn't like some films that I thought were great. Like, he didn't like Externo, but his partner liked Externo and liked Orangutan. And so I think it's really like, and then he doesn't like Indian films, but his partner does. And the good thing about a lot of platforms is they're looking for content. You know, so it's about submitting. You have everything, you have subtitles, you have all that, you have a full-length film. They are finding it difficult to submit shorts, but I've gotten, my shorts are on Tubi. So I think it's about the right team taking on, he's also building his team, a distributor partner. He's building his team to where he'll find the people that sit down with the shorts so they can get those shorts there, sit down with films he doesn't want to take to those platforms and they will take them. But he takes certain films based on certain things. And it's not everyone that is like that in the industry. So we are still working very hard to get those films out there, but we're very much concerned about what you're doing next, because creating the film and having the right stars in it ahead of time takes away and eliminates the issues you're having now of who's going to buy my film. It prepares you to sell it before you ever make it, and that's where you want to be. And that's what FlixReps is about. And that's why talking about going to AFM, pitching at Cannes, even if you don't win, don't worry about coming there to win. Worry about the relationships, like Darrell just said. Who am I going to meet who's going to take interest in my project? Because not everyone's going to like Orangutan. Not everyone's going to like your film, but someone's going to like you. And when they like you and the interest you're showing, whatever you're talking about is golden. And that's how I've built relationship. That's how Darrell's on the phone right now. The few times we've talked, the few projects we're working on, the people that we're meeting, oh my God, the people from the putting together the Cannes, they do all the whole 181, tax write-off, where you write off 81% of your film. They do all that. They're showing interest. Someone's joining us real late. We're leaving now. But they're showing interest in your projects.
Who's showing up late? I want to know who that is.
He's actually a coach. He's a project manager from Africa. And the reason why he's part of our team is because he's going to be connecting us to the African market.
Okay.
But we're not going to stay long because we're going to actually send this link out to everyone. And I promised myself 30 minutes. I'd like to have a longer session with you, Darrell. Some people wanted to do that. They want to have a longer distribution session. I'm going to look. Thank you so much. He says, great to be here. I'm going to unmute you, sir. So you could just say hello to us, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
He's coming from Africa.
Tell him next time if he gets here on time, I'll buy him sushi.
So he has the African market on lock. He has 20 years relationship and teaching and coaching. Interested in working with us in travel there. And we're doing some other business, but it's just important to have those relationships and then bring those relationships all to the table. That's what I'm doing at FlixReps. I'm bringing all my relationships here and I'm sharing them. And because some of my films are based in Africa, and the storylines are based, I've thought about shooting there. I have a team member, who, when he signs a contract with us, we will be presenting his script to the team. He has a budget of $172,000 right now, which Darrell's team is going to turn into a $1 million, $2 million film. Everybody's welcome on the project, however you fit. Next month, I'm going to be emailing guys one-to-one. First thing I'll ask you for is a profile. I mean like a bio or something, because we're going to start putting a page of our team on FlixReps, because we have a new team member, who just placed somebody in a Jim Brown project. He's been brought to our table through Keisha, and he wants to join us because he has access to placing folks into, he's in music, but he has access to tons of music, and he can place you into acting, performing, production, things like that. So he's a
Yeah.
great access. Hello, Mr. Oludare Kinlaja. He's a great access to us. Everyone is a great access. Even my team members, Adam and Frankie, and you guys are all important. Without you, there's no Flix reps. And I don't care how small you are. I'm thinking after the funding is acquired, I'm going to shut the doors and take down the admission, because that way I can focus on just those people we have and opening up for short season next year. So it's not just about being a member, it's about having members who are functioning members, who are present to attend AFM. It's expensive to go to AFM.
Yeah.
Tell me the cost in general, what we're looking at. If Flix reps
AFM?
about this, yeah.
For me, it starts out at 10 grand. It starts out at 10 grand.
Right, but is that for everyone too as well, individually, if you wanted to
just,
come?
No, it has nothing to do with them. Like to take my company.
Right, so we come as your company, you just have to let us know
Yeah, you're basically
individually what will
coming
cost for. So you and I will work that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I can let them, so you let me know if it's 1,000 for each person or whatever. If they're interested,
No,
then
I
I
wouldn't
know.
do that to them. It won't be that much, but yeah.
Right, whatever you let me know, we're gonna try on our end to bring in the scholarships to it too as well. So just keep that
Okay.
in mind. But again, this is what it's about. AFM is American Film Market. I have never been, guys, and I'm crazy about making film, but that's what I'm talking about. You don't go to the next level without the right people. So sometimes that's all you needed is the next people. So welcome, Oludare. Can you say a few words? We're actually done, but can you say a few words to us about what you do? And he's a Flix Reps coach in project management.
Okay. First of all, I'll need to apologize. This time zone thing I thought it was for 9 p.m. So I just picked up my phone when I saw your message and I'm like, wow. So I apologize. My name is Oludare Akinlaja. I run a research and development company here in Africa. I've been into project management, program design, design thinking 20 years plus now. We've worked across non-for-profit, we've worked for profit. I've done a lot with government. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I've done a lot with government, and I'm a coach on Flix Rep. I'm also a project management consultant for Flix Rep, and I'm so excited as what Flix Rep is building, and a desire to create not just a market for where it's originating from, but also trying to see how they can integrate the African continent as a whole, which excites me, and I'm excited to be here. It's nice to meet great people, and thank you very much for having me here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, we are an international group. We are trying to create relationships with people. We have relationships with some festivals in Paris. We have some other people that will talk to you. We have other, this month's speaker is Bruce Urban. You've seen the email. He'll be speaking to us next week. Next month, we're going to have Corky Kessler. He is a big Hollywood. He's raised over $200 million as just in film funds for one team. He's working directly with me on my film funding. So he'll be talking to us next week about film funding, raising. He's part of your Cannes Film Festival panel. So when you go to the panel, he will know you. He'll say, oh, I met you before. So show up, right? Because if you show up and you meet him next week, he'll be speaking at the end. So the last Sunday of April, Corky Kessler will be our speaker. This last Sunday of this month, which is next Sunday. Sorry to be back to back. It's supposed to be every other week. So actually middle of next month, we'll have a meet and greet like this, where we just come around, give us an update. Adam, and if you're busy, text me, email me. I'm busy, I'm on the shoot, I'm unable to. Look forward to the video, because I'll always record and send a video out to the team so that we all have it. So pretty much that's it. We went around the room. Frankie is from Canada. Adam is from Ohio. He's working on a film. Darrell is our sales guy, and Darrell's team just secured a worldwide distribution for a film, Issues of Heart, by Flaming Sword, which is part of a big Nigerian group as well. They do some work with, it's just amazing. They're American based. They took American stars, but the writers are African, and they just got their film secured for worldwide distributions. That's why, I mean, this is an international thing from all over. You never know who you need. And just having someone from Canada as part of our team and Africa shows that we're definitely trying to go worldwide. So I'll see you guys next week. You'll have a time very shortly, next day or two, with Bruce Urban. What time works for everybody? Does 3 work, or 1, or what's better? 1 or 3? 3? Okay.
Whichever is
So we'll do
fine
it
for me.
3 p.m. next week. Sir, Bruce is open,
Yeah.
and Bruce will be talking about getting your project on TV. The importance of it. I think knowing early how to market yourself now while you're either working on a book for your film, and some of the other things that are important to selling your film. You have to think of sales. When you make a film, if you have an animation, can that film be in a McDonald's toy box when it released? Can you have t-shirts spread across a certain platform? Can you have a book that was released before the film was made? There are many ways. Can you do a soundtrack that's making money with Sony, with a Sony deal? There are many ways to monetize a film. It's not just film sales. And that's what we want to do by having someone like Bruce here and having lawyers who come in and talk to us, having music artists who come in and talk to us, because these are all selling points in how you raise the funding for your film. Because if you have a deal with Sony, then Sony could bring in some dollars for your film, depending on the star who's willing to sing for that film, right? This is how Disney does it. There's no rocket science to it. It's just having the right team that knows what they're doing and placing it together for you. And that's what FlixReps is. So thank you guys again. I'll see you guys next week. It's such a pleasure. And if no one has any questions or comments, it's goodbye. And email us if you have anything. Sorry, Darrell, you have something?
So let me know when I'm open. I got the next 2 days
Darrell,
off.
I'm going to call you this afternoon. I've got a product placement. Someone wants to do an ad for a major US product.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye, everyone.
Alrighty.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye-bye.
Sorry again for
Bye.
coming late, please.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.